How's it going, guys? Skoks from Chicago Blackhawks Central going to wrap up the last three games quickly, right? Just get into that uh, game against Utah and the Golden Knights, and then get into that crazy day last night. Starting off uh, with the Seth Jones trade. So we'll go over the Ducks game first, then we'll get into the trade because there's a lot to get in. Like, there's a lot to get into. A whole lot of details coming out recently, so we'll get into all of that. And yeah, let me roll the intro. Yep. So let's start out with the first loss against the Utah Hockey Club it was midweek. So let's just go through that. I'll bring up the lineup from the most recent game so we could just have an eye on that. But I will quickly just run through the first two games, right? So let me bring up the lineup here from Ben Pope from the Chicago Sun Times. So shout out to Ben once again. Does some great work on the beat. So the loss to Utah 2-1. Last five games, Connor Bedard 0 points in all five games, right? And scoring 11 goals in the last two games and just not having a point is it's weird, right? Not overly concerned, but there is uh, a few questions, you know, popping up, and uh, where's the contribution? Yes, the lines have been jumbled, but other guys are making things happen, right? And still young. Connor's still extremely young, and not overly concerned about this five game slump here. Uh, Fully confident that he will put his game together. But yeah, has not been very fun to watch the last few games here after the Four Nations break. But a 2-1 loss against Utah. Kraus, Keller, Kerfoot scores, and Seth Jones, he scored the first goal of the game in that game. Outshot 37-22. Final score 2-1. But I guess the bright spot of the squad so far, um, since returning from break, has been Frank Nazar. He's been unreal on both ends through the neutral zone. I know a lot of fans have noticed his improvement and his just game develop in all um, in all aspects. His skating looks great. Love his speed. Shots decent, and passing has been good as well. So I love what I'm seeing from Frank Nazar. What's up, man? To Chicago, Quentin Byfield to LA. Yeah, an interesting name that's popped up recently. I would love Byfield on this team as a two as a 2C, or possibly rotate to that 1C spot with Bedard on the first line, and they could play off of each other at times if they need to, right? So that would be that would be awesome. Don't know what LA is looking at for the trade return, but we'll get into some more of the trade stuff right after I recap the Golden Knights game. Very very weird game on. This was on, I believe, Thursday night. Yeah, Barbashev 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Keegan Kolesar randomly has a 2 goal game against us, and Brett Howden has 3 assists. Uh, Very weird game, 7-5 final score, and yeah, outshot 33-22, which is not great. We're seeing the shot totals low to mid 20s once again, but completely forgot that Jason Dickinson is out as well. So the squad is very, very young right now, and you're not going to see a whole ton of shots on net with a lot of young players because they, they just tend to be like hesitant when they get in the lineup. So not very surprised with that, but 7-5 final score. Knights over the Hawks. Kolasar scores the first one. Foligno gets on the board. Haig, Barbashev, Tomas Hurdle, uh, Pavel Dorofeyev. Have not heard of him. I'm not sure if they picked him up recently or maybe he's a draft pick, but have not heard of Pavel Dorofeyev. Seems like he has 24 goals on the year, which is pretty impressive. Yeah. Second period, Doc scores. Del Mastro gets his first goal in the NHL. Great shot, great play from Murphy to Donato over to Del Mastro, and he lets it rip. Love to see that. Kolasar, he gets his second goal of the game. Mikheyev scores a really nice wrister from Frank Nazar. Nice 2-on-1 play, uh, like a give and go, and just a nice shot by Mikheyev from Nazar. Uh, Connor Murphy, Craig Smith, they get the puck over to Philip Kurashev for his sixth goal on the season in the third period, and Barbashev puts it away 7-5 with 5 minutes left, and that that did it in Vegas. And this has been late night hockey in Vegas and in Anaheim, California. So it's been some late nights watching the Hawks games recently. Face-off percentage back in the low 40s, 41%. Yeah, not what we wanted to see. Peter Mrazek let in, what was it, 4-5 goals in that first period. Don't love to see that, especially with the trade deadline coming up and many other factors that we'll get into. Yeah, we definitely need to move on from someone here. But yeah, Mrazek lets up 5 goals in that first period. Just brutal, right? Absolutely brutal. He has not looked the same since the little groin injury. Has not looked great at all. But yeah, we'll get into that. Let's finish up with the Ducks matchup on Saturday night here. Late hockey once again at 9 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, 6-3 Hawks win. Very, very fun game. And to have such a fun game and score 6 goals after this Jones trade, man, you would love to see Bedard on that score sheet. But unfortunately, he is not. Ryan Donato, 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. Just the guy's on fire, man. We've talked about it every single time. Soderblom, once again, extremely stout in net. 28 saves, 903 save percentage. Awesome game from him once again. Wyatt Kaiser, 1 goal as the third star of the game. Great shot, great goal from him. Total shots, 31 Ducks and 24 Hawks. Kaiser got that first goal of the game. Leo Carlson thought he had a pretty good game as well. Pat Maroon gets one. Tavo, nice shot from the slot. Just love seeing some scoring here recently, right? Got to have something going on, and love the contributions throughout the lineup. And we will check out the other scoring. Jackson Lacombe, his 11th goal on the season. Reichel on a nice breakaway. Nice move on John Gibson. Donato, really nice move on Gibson for his 20th goal on the power play. Uh, Ryan Donato once again 3 minutes later, he scores that breakaway goal, and that first one was in front of the net, but unreal game from Donato, and we'll get into him as well, but does not seem like he's going to be here for much longer. Leo Carlson, he gets one back for the Ducks to make it 6-3. Face-up percentage was 60.4 for the Ducks and 39.6 for the Hawks, which is absolutely brutal. That's brutal to see. The Lions Double A was elevated from the Ice Hogs. Just I I I don't think he looked terrible. Thought he had some nice flashes, but uh, I don't care to see Double A up here with Bedard and Bertuzzi. It didn't work, and I just don't like it. And I think a lot of other people have made that known as well. Just Bedard, the line mates are just it's a bunch of randomness, and I would love to see Tavo, Bedard, Bertuzzi. Every, everyone's brought it up. Would love to see that, but Slaggert, Nazar, Doc, Tavo, Donato, Mikheyev, Maroon, Reichel, Smith for the fourth line. Vlasic, he's pretty much our 1D now after the Jones trade. Dalmastro, Murphy, Kaiser, Brody. Dalmastro thought he had a great game as well, along with Y. Kaiser, with Soderblom in net. Just a lot of great games a lot of great performances last night from the young Hawks players, except Connor Bedard. Yeah, weird little slump that he's in. Doesn't make a whole ton of sense, but he does seem a bit off. If it's confidence or he does seem to be a little sluggish out there. I don't know what's going on, but I hope, hope he turns it up here very, very soon. Just let's hop into this Seth Jones trade, and I'll bring it up on my page here. Chicago Blackhawks Central, Shy Blackhawks YT. If you guys want to follow along for the daily updates. So we will go back to the official trade announcement. If I could find it, the official trade announcement from Frank Saravalli. So I guess he did update that. So this is the updated one, I believe. I hope, or no, it's not. All right, let me double check. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the trade a little now. Seth Jones, he is on his way to the Florida Panthers, one of two teams that were on his list. I believe Pat Boyle broke on his podcast earlier, along with Charlie Romeliotis. The Panthers and the Dallas Stars were on his teams of interest that he would accept a trade to, and the word was that the Dallas Stars did not have any interest in him. So very interesting stuff from Pat Boyle, and makes some sense. Dallas Stars probably just didn't want to mess with the contract, and makes total sense. Not mad about that, but the Hawks, we are acquiring goalie Spencer Knight, which we all went crazy about, right? 23-year-old goalie. He's already had success in the NHL. He's had a few bumps along the way early on. I believe with some therapy that he had to take some time off for, but that's good that he got that taken care of early on, and hoping that he's all fine now, and he has looked very good this season as well. And Hawks get the 2026 first round pick from the from the Panthers, and we do retain $2.5 million on Jones for the next 5 seasons. So I'm totally fine with that. We're getting the first round pick and a young goalie that has the pedigree, the talent, skill to be that one A type of goalie, and I'm super pumped about that. And e- everyone's completely fine with this return for Seth Jones, a player that we didn't really have much leverage with. He put put it out there publicly that he didn't want to be here anymore, and that's awesome from GMKD just to get that first round pick, Spencer Knight, and got most of the money off of our books. And the pick slice of 2027, if Florida doesn't have their 2026 pick. And just to clarify, so the Panthers would have to finish like bottom 10 this season to make that pick become 2027, which is not happening because they're making the playoffs. And yeah, so we will have the 2026 first round pick from the Panthers, and that's just awesome stuff, man. Super excited for Spencer Knight and just have some draft capital, some extra ammo uh, for a trade here very very soon. I hope. Probably won't be a big trade for us in buying right before the end of the deadline, but definitely in the off season and draft. So super pumped about that. And let's double check on any more details from the trade. But we've all seen all of the stories on uh, how it got done on Saturday. And let me double check if there's any other details that I forgot to mention from Saturday. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, so I reposted from Blackhawks Focus from Pat Boyle on the CHSN podcast about the Stars and Panthers. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on there as well. I reposted it up on there. Quote from Lucas Reichel from Ben Pope post game quote: "It felt good to be back. It's not always easy if you get scratched. First game back, timing is a little off, but I tried to make the best of it, stay positive, and play a little pissed off. I'm glad it worked out." Quote: "Yeah, love Reichel's game all season basically, and just want to see him in the lineup consistently. Top six. Uh, give him that runway now with a little over 20 games to go in the season. Uh, would love to see what else he can show us if he's not moved before the deadline here, right? Yeah, so we'll get in to more of the stuff midweek, see if anything else happens, but I do suspect another move or maybe even two to happen before the deadline here on Friday. Ryan Donato definitely seems like he's going to be shipped out. I'm cool with a second round pick. I would love, of course, if someone pays up a first round pick or a high prospect, I will also take that. The rumor was that the Hawks were interested in a uh, NHL ready prospect, right? Someone that's able to get into to the lineup immediately and get some playing time. I think that would be awesome for Ryan Donato. In return, possibly pair up Mrazek. We have four goalies on the roster now with Brossois, Mrazek, Soderblom, and Knight. Definitely look to start Soderblom and Spencer Knight, a young tandem going forward. I am all in on that, and I don't really want anyone else in there. Peter Mrazek, I could care less if you waive him, trade him, package him in with Donato or Reichel, make that deal a little bit more enticing. I definitely think that we could get that done. And Brossois, he has one more year on his contract. Probably just going to miss the rest of this year with his injury. Hasn't played a game. The reporters have barely seen him at practice, and I don't know what's going on. So But moving forward with Spencer Knight and Soderblom, I'm all in, and I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to see Knight in net. Would love to see that this week, and yeah, I suspect Donato and or Mrazek, possibly Lucas Reichel, to to be moved. Would love to hang on to Reichel though, because he is still young, and I love his development this year. Love his game, fast, and he's been playing very very hard. So love what I'm seeing there, and we'll be back post game on, I believe, is it Monday or Tuesday? But we're playing the um, LA Kings. Yeah, so some byfield talk, and yeah, we're playing on Monday night, and we'll see you then. Let's go Hawks.